waiting for everybody to kind of pop in. Okay. All right. Just tagging some folks. All right. Okay. Okay. And
Hey.
all right.
What's up?
How you doing?
What's happening with y'all?
Bruce.
What's up, man? Why you sitting in the dark, Caleb?
Oh, I'm pulling up
Why are you in the dark?
work.
How's it going?
Oh God, going good. How's everybody this evening?
Oh yeah,
Good.
Uh,
How
I
y'all
can hear
doing?
you.
just a little bit more volume, Hannah, I think.
A little bit more volume.
Just a little bit more volume. I think you're just a little low.
Maybe a little closer. Is that better?
Not really.
No? Maybe I should just take this off.
Oh, you almost had it.
Hold on.
Sound like you down in a hole.
Am I good? No?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah? Okay.
That sounds better.
I just have to speak louder. I talk like a mouse.
I luckily, unfortunately, you can hear me from everywhere.
What's up, Adam?
All right. See how many people. Okay, so people are able to. Okay, perfect. Because I was trying to see if there was anybody that was still okay. So, did you guys want to wait for a couple more people to pop on, or do you want to go ahead and get this thing rolling?
Don't matter.
All right. Okay, so hey, Jameson. Hey, Adam. Keep the mic, Adam. Jesus. Okay, so everybody, we have Hannah with us tonight. We've got a great show in store for you guys. She's a wealth of knowledge for everybody in different facets of this industry. So without any further ado, Hannah, go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell us how you got started, and just kind of, what drove you to bullies.
Bullies. I think everybody starts at pit bulls.
That's fair. That's fair. I know I did.
Yeah. So my name is Presented by Hannah, and I am a professional dog handler. I've handled many dogs to their title. I have actually lost count of how many I've titled already. But
All right.
yeah. And I also was able to win the 2022 Nationals with my own boy, Grand Champion Zero Barks Given. So that's me. Yeah.
Awesome. We're definitely good to have you.
Yeah, but I'm very excited. Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Amanda, Bruce, and Caleb for having me on this talk show.
Yes.
Oh,
Absolutely.
absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you. I'm just glad that you felt comfortable enough to join us on here and just kind of talk about what you do. I know that I had a couple of questions specifically for you, and it is in regards to you having showed Zero across the ocean. So I've never, though I've obviously gone back and forth, visiting Europe and everything like that. So I know what the flight's like for just me and my luggage. But you have a dog with you, so is there any thing that you have to do in advance to prepare for that better, or any kind of paperwork, anything like that?
So usually when you travel overseas, it's a little bit of a different experience, right? It's a longer flight. So what I do is to prepare the dog is I actually bring them on shorter flights domestic, see how they do, and then, because Zero's not the first dog I brought overseas. I actually brought
Okay.
Grand Champion Branch. I brought, other dogs to Guatemala too. So it is a bit of a process. When you're going overseas, you have to make sure that you log into the USDA website. So that gives you basically the idea of what each country does require. So let's say when we went to Spain for the Euro Nationals, we had to go ahead and have his vet records, his rabies, and all these shots had to be done not less than 30 days before travel. And he actually had to have a USDA health certificate that sign off on it within 14 days from travel. So those are some of the things that you have to do to actually get on the plane.
Jeez, is that like any kind of and obviously that's just commercial flying, like just any airline?
Not any airlines. So there are some airlines that ban bull breeds. I believe we used to fly KLM, and now they've banned bull breeds. But usually I look for But oh, okay. You know what? Let me take this off. I think that's okay. That's okay. Is that better?
What's up, Andre?
That better?
Yeah, there we go. All right.
I fixed the mic on that thing. Yeah, it's okay.
Nah, they was tagging in, so they can't hear.
I was hearing you, but that's I have my volume like. It's not that I'm deaf. I always have my volume on high. It's really, really weird.
Yeah.
So you said that which go ahead. I missed that. Okay.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay.
So from the top, how do we prepare?
Yes, from the top, we need to be prepared. No. No. So when you're traveling overseas, the first thing I do is go to the USDA website. So USDA APHIS. So that gives it has a drop-down menu of the different countries that you need to go to and what their requirements are. So one of the basic requirements are their updated vaccinations, especially their rabies. They have to be done 30 days before they travel. And this is across the board. And then you have to have the USDA vet. You have to send that paperwork over from the vet to the USDA vet. They actually have to sign off on a health certificate and stamp it and send it back to you. And that has to be done within 14 days. So typically that's the normal. But in some other countries, they have specific blood work they need to do. Like I know South Africa. I didn't travel to South Africa with a dog, but I did broker a dog and send it off there. And they needed a whole huge panel of tests that was like 1,200, Trypana, something Evansi, some weird, but I guess that is like a bacteria that is very detrimental to the ecosystem. So they said if the dog arrives there with that bacteria on them, they're incinerated. Like they won't send the dog even back to you. No. Yeah, so there are certain things that we do really have to watch for when you're traveling overseas. And then, like, of course, the airlines you're asking about, there are certain airlines that ban bull breeds. Yeah. And I think the most recent one was KLM. But we used to fly KLM before, but now they won't allow it.
And
Wow.
KLM, who are they affiliated with?
I don't think they're affiliated with Star Alliance. I'm not sure who they're affiliated with. But I know Star Alliance has been pretty good, like United,
I think it's like Turkish Air, Lufthansa's in there as well. So those are good ones.
Yeah, and I think Iberia for Spain. That one's a really good one that accepts service dogs. So what I do is I call the airline to ask them,
Right.
or what they do allow as far as dogs in the cabin or in cargo. And then some airlines, they only allow certain times of years certain time of the year where they allow the dog to travel, just because, especially if they're snub nosed or they're brachycephalic. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see
Yeah, we actually got a dog trailer from Germany years ago. So same thing. The heat index, we couldn't fly into Florida. We actually had to fly into Atlanta just because the heat index and things like that. I guess how hot it gets in the cargo area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So some airlines actually let the dog travel in the cabin.
They do. Some do.
Is there certain weight restrictions and things like that? I'm sure the
Yeah.
stipulations.
If it's a pet, I think it's only like 25 pounds or something like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining trying to get a dog maneuvered through an airport, and it sounds like it's a nightmare. How do you go about getting your dog through an international airport, through customs?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any tricks of the trade, anything like that?
Yeah. So I'll start off with getting to the airport. So I allow like maybe 3-4 hours, especially if I'm going international. I make sure the crate that they have that I'm checking in is not more than 62 linear inches. So typically when you have a big dog, that's already 62 linear inches. So I found a crate on Amazon that's actually folds widthwise instead of lengthwise. So it's kind of like an accordion. It folds like that. Yeah, and it's very neat. It just pops up, So I had to search all of this because I'm like, there has to be a way,
Like, right.
makes
So
it easy.
people have done this before me. How did they do it?
Yeah. So I found one less than 62 linear inches, and I'm able to bring that. And then when I get there, so when I go up to the gate agent, you have to be calm, cool, and collected. I mean, you can't be
Yeah.
anxious and then have your dog anxious too with you.
Oh, nightmare.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you have all the paperwork ready. You have to make sure you have that documentation, especially from USDA. I've had agents where they look over it and they're like, I don't see your microchip number. You have to make sure it's the 15-digit microchip number.
Okay, so they have the
That's
microchip.
that's an
right.
international microchip number. So you have to make sure it's 15 because they check when you get to the country you're going to. They actually scan the dog to make sure that it matches.
Oh man,
There you
that's
go.
So they look for all of that, and you have to be prepared with what your answers will be and you have to know what's on your health certificate because some of these agents, they're very mean and they'll look for anything to not get you on the plane. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah. So I've had that happen a few times where they're like, well, I don't see his rabies. And I'm like, oh, it's right there.
Yeah.
Or it's not within 30 days. Oh, it's right there.
Right. You're like, look further.
Yeah.
I did all this work.
Yeah. So when I pack a bag for them, so after when all of that is done, we go through TSA. I make sure that when I pack a bag, it has a leash that doesn't have a lot of metal on it. And for Zero, he's a bigger dog, so I avoid using a vest or anything like that. I use a collar, which is easier to take off, and it's not so hot. It gets hot in the plane. Some of them turn off the AC before the plane, takes off or taxis on the runway, and it gets hot when everybody's trying to, get in there and push their bags in.
Oh yeah.
And then I have a little fan, a little Ryobi fan. You can bring the battery on the plane with you, so that's fine.
Nice.
And then I teach them how to drink from a spray bottle, so I don't have to keep taking. So I don't have to keep taking.
There
I
you
don't have to
go.
keep taking out a bowl.
Yeah.
So I teach that. And then I also teach them how to eat ice.
Nice.
Yeah.
My dogs are addicted to ice, so that wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be a problem.
They come
But they
flying when I go to the ice
fast.
machine on my refrigerator. They all come flying in like a herd of wildebeest. It's like
They're like ice,
and they can hear
it.
I know what you're doing. Give me ice. Vultures.
Yes.
Now with the water and the ice, if that's them traveling in the cabin, but what if they're below? Like, how is the the water, the feeding regimen, things like underneath?
They actually ask you to put food on top of, or tape food on top of the a crate, and water. They usually, they give them water. You can put water in their crate when they, when you leave them. But the food, you can just leave it on top, and they just kind of give them the food.
Is there certain timeline they go and like check on them? Like, do they let you know what they're doing, or
they really don't? Usually, they'll just let you know if your dog is already there, and especially, I think some of them have apps where you can actually track like your cargo baggage. Kind of like a United, but typically they don't let you know. I mean, they just let you know when your dog is ready to be picked up, basically. When you arrive. Yeah, because they're riding in in a cargo with you, so.
Okay. So they are definitely because I know that sometimes, depending on the way that flights work out, your luggage may not actually be on the plane you're on, which I think would freak me out. If I was like, what do you mean my dog's in Detroit? What does this mean?
Check. It's like 400 miles away from you. What?
How did this even happen? What do you mean he's in Heathrow?
Speaking of Heathrow, that is a layover that someone should never go to.
Okay.
Like with a dog.
Heathrow.
Especially
Any particular reason
why? We don't do Heathrow.
Oh, goodness gracious. Any particular reason why?
I think BSL. I believe it was BSL, or they don't have surgeries in their airport.
That's right. Yeah, the UK's they've got some issues happening over there right now, from what I understand. So, that's not as surprising as I felt it would be.
Yeah.
So you've landed. You're overseas. What's the next step? Like, how do you what are your maneuvers to try and get, do you go directly to the hotel that you're staying at, or do you try to walk him a little bit? Like, what's the...
Yeah. So before doing all of this, I actually called the hotel to make sure that they allow dogs into the hotel, because a lot of them don't. The different cultures, some of them, they like pets, some they don't like pets. It's just not something they're used to, pets being in the house or in your room. So I usually call to make sure that they allow it. I go through customs, and they check all your paperwork, that the vet did. They recheck it, and then they scan the ID, the microchip, make sure it's the right dog. And then I usually get a rental. So the rentals haven't been an issue so far. They haven't said anything about my dog being in the car, but I just bring extra. I'm very extra, so I bring a seat. I bring lint rollers. I bring, just to make it easier, or a bed sheet, just to make it easier on cleanup, so they don't. It's just nice to do. Yeah. There was no dog in the car.
Dang. Okay. And then, obviously, the show can sometimes feel like just a show. I mean, we have, multiple registries here stateside, but is there too much of a difference, overseas in shows that they host, the sanctioned shows that they host, especially when it comes to ABKC, which is, I think that's the international show you went to in Spain, right?
Yeah. So it's a little bit different. Of course, payment-wise is a little bit different, but good thing the hosts are very accommodating to us when they know that we're not from there, so they help us a lot. Some of the things I noticed is, different regions have different ways they accept you. Like for Guatemala, they're very nice. They're very, very nice. But when we compete against the people of the different countries, everybody roots for the country that they're from, because there's Guatemala, it's Central America, so they have people from Honduras, people from Ecuador, Peru, they're all coming, and they all have their dogs that they're rooting for, and it's just really amazing to see. In Spain, it was the numbers, so they go by what number you are, and that's where you start in the ring. I mean, when you walk in, number 1, 2, 3, they go by number.
Yeah.
But the venue in for Euro Nationals is beautiful, lot of natural light, and the people are very friendly.
Yeah. Anna, so you've traveled all over the world. What all countries have you been to for dog wise?
Dog-wise?
Yeah.
Only a few. Um, we went to Canada.
He's totally downplaying it.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I'd like to go to more countries, but the ones that we've been to were Spain, Guatemala, Canada. I think I haven't gone anywhere else. Well, Philippines, but we didn't show any dogs.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I thought I saw Philippines on there somewhere.
Yeah. Well, it was amazing. They invited us as guests. They paid for
Wow.
everything, so we went
Oh.
as guests.
Wow.
It was amazing.
Dang.
Dang.
What an
That's
experience.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yes.
I felt like royalty. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I bet the food over there good? I've never been to the Philippines. I've known
Oh.
several people from it.
I'm Filipino, so I'm kind of biased, but the food is amazing.
Lumpia, yes. Yes.
But of course,
Or
it's
you
good, though, obviously.
non-biased, yes, it's good.
It's
Have you guys
fantastic.
ever tried?
This is delicious.
Right.
Yes.
Well, guys, do you have I feel like I'm like literally hijacking Hannah here from you.
No, I'm just listening. I'm just
No,
enjoying.
Yeah.
I love hearing the international travel wise, but leading to that, the regimen you got your dogs on, like your I love your page. I love how detailed it is. Shout out to your page. What is that? It is presentcanna.com. Y'all go on, check it out. If you're looking for a web page, whoever created yours, if it was you, well done. Well done.
Yeah,
Thank you.
indeed,
me about a
presented
month.
by Hannah.
Sitting in a chair, trying to figure it out.
Yes, but I would love to hear the training regimen. How did zero become zero? And how did the dogs that you're training become what they become once they leave? Like, what do you do?
Well, the interesting about the beautiful thing about creating a dog for the show ring, or cultivating a dog for the show ring, I should say, is that there are so many different ways to do it. You know what I mean? So it's what really works for the dog. But first and foremost, I really focus on their mental psyche, and their trust, and being okay with being touched, and
Right.
and being okay with all of those things. I work on that trust factor, because with that, then I can get them to do anything else I need them to do.
Yeah.
But it's all repetition. Everything I do with them is repetition, morning, evening, and then a lot of play, so their energy is their energy is all used up, and they can focus on me. Because a lot of the times the dogs that I have, they're puppies, and their focus is just all over the place. But once they get tired, then they're like, ooh, treat, I'm hungry.
Puppies can be hard. They're literally a mile a millisecond. And a tired dog is a good dog. I totally understand that concept.
Right. And once I do that, then I graduate to like toys and things like that. But a lot of dogs, it just depends on what drives them. So I watch their body language, and it's really all about body language. Are they doing that extra focused attention on you, like on that treat? Some it's the ball, some it's a squeak, some it's the treat. Some it's an actual person standing in front of them that they know, where they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, those eyes.
I've seen the way Zero looks at you. That's that laser focus. He's just like, I love you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the good thing about him. He loves his mama.
Mhm. Oh yeah, you can't buy that.
Yeah, but I really work on, when I do their feeding regimen too. I watch how it's affecting their body. Some people, they're like, oh, feed this all across the board. No, sometimes you need to scale back a little bit.
Right.
So it's really watching the dog, and watches what, doing what works for the dog.
Absolutely. Yeah. Every dog's built different. Some dogs, they work different with different levels of protein, different levels of activity. You cannot, one size does not fit all.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
They're like people. Some have fast metabolisms, some have very slow metabolisms. So you just have to figure out, the last thing you want is a dog who's overweight, has no tuck in the midsection, and just, tired. You want a dog that's able to run with you and be with you, in the ring.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
I hope I was able to answer your question.
Yes. Hey, Hannah,
No, absolutely.
what's your ideal
My
age?
normally on what did you say, Caleb?
You know, you were talking about mental psych, things like that, which I love, and I love, you know, you're evaluating the dog and seeing where their mental evaluation is, then seeing what Batesman, things like that. What is your perfect age that you really start? If someone could get a dog to you, if you were going to train a dog, what's the perfect age that you would like for them to bring it to you?
Well, I like them a little older, because then I can kind of see how their personality is and how they're kind of developed. And at the same time, too, when they're brought to me a little bit older, they were able to spend that time with their family and really get to bond with their family, too, not just me. But I'd say probably around 5 months is a good starting point, you know, because by 6 months, they can already start gaining points.
Yeah.
So I kind of take that into consideration. I do like them a little bit older, but I mean, if they have to come to me, I'd say maybe about 5 months or
Okay.
so. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Now
by
your
that time, they have all the puppy jitters out.
yeah. Your
Yeah.
personal dogs. When do you start training them? What age?
Personal dogs, I start training them pretty quickly, but I make it fun, you know,
Yeah.
and not something too structured. It's just something fun, but the motion is there.
Yeah.
Just make sure the motion is there. Motion.
Yes, because if y'all have not seen Hannah in the ring, it doesn't matter what dog lead puts in her hand. Hannah, you are a artist out there. Seriously.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, I
So
love
much.
seeing the ring. Zero was a complete. You know, we've seen you numerous times, but then at nationals, things like, yeah, it's
Poetry in motion. It was ridiculous. It's one of those things where it's like, why did I even come? Why I mean, come on, look at that. I mean, yeah, it's really fun watching you, especially because you have experience with multiple breeds. It's not just bullies. Like, you know, I've personally seen you in there with Frenchies. Gosh, I can't remember, was it an English or an old English bulldog at one point that you were in there with?
Shorties. Love shorties.
It was a shorty bull, short bull. And
yes,
it was just one of
Yeah.
those things where I'm just like, oh, okay, so she does everything.
yes,
And you
Love
tailor
Excel too.
your handling to the breed, which is something that, I mean, because again, you have to, like, these breeds have different standards. And so when you position them, when you stack them, you know, there's a certain way you're supposed to stack different breeds, you know, to, you know, exhibit their, you know, traits and whatnot. So it's like, it's interesting to watch you do that. It's just fascinating.
Yeah. And these dogs too, a lot of them have different energies. So when I first meet them, most of these dogs that I meet, this is the first time I'm meeting them, but I have to kind of figure out their energy because some are so energetic and you're like, okay, I need to slow myself down so they can slow down
Yeah.
too because their mind is working, you know, a mile a minute. So you need to have, like, especially, I love the XLs. Like, I have so much fun handling them. But yeah, they have a lot of energy, and the dogs that are very docile, you know, you have to kind of pep them up a little bit. So energy is different, you know.
yes,
So,
I believe it. I believe it.
yeah,
Yeah, there's some younger excels in there that they are just they're happy to be there. And I mean, Taylor's
yeah.
jumping in and you're sitting there like, put your tail down, put your tail down, put your tail down.
Yes, Hannah, I love that you keep hitting on that too, the energy levels and what the dog is, because yeah, if the dog is just over rambunctious, like your gait and everything like that can be thrown off very, very quickly
very
once
good.
that dog gets excited. And last year, Columbus, Georgia, you took the lead on an XL that was going up against our boy, and I was like, why did they get her at the handler? Give it to somebody else. I think you championed him out. It was Champion Draco of he's from Tampa, Florida. I think you championed him out, a bossy boy, Draco. And I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh, out of any handler in here, that's not the one I want to see.
Again, you're just like, why did they even come here? This is
Yes, but well,
Oh.
yeah. I think that was that Sunday that you guys did that at the last Columbus show.
it was 2 days
Mhm.
event on Saturday and Sunday. She championed him
Yeah,
out.
I missed you doing that because I was there Sunday, so I missed you with the XL. I've never personally seen you with an XL yet, so I'd be super excited to see that.
I have,
Oh man.
unfortunately.
There's one
Is
that
there?
I
Are you
remember.
salty at all?
No,
It's a mix there.
you did incredible. Like, you know, Zero, y'all are in tune all the time, but to see you handle someone else's dog to pick up on the energy, and I'm sure your energy level too, once you get handed that lead, you got to dog out, you got to get your mind right because they're feeding
Yeah.
on you. So your mindset, how controlled it is, and how well you control that dog is second to none, honestly. So well done.
Oh, thank you. I mean, a lot of people don't realize too that when you have these dogs and you're trying to figure them out, it's like you have to do it at spur of the moment for the most part, So you have to have that initial instinct to be able to. That's I think the big difference between an amateur handler, an aspiring handler, and a professional handler is we really do know how to adjust to the moment very quickly and to the dog.
Yeah.
Like I've had dogs where they've never seen a show ring before. They've never seen a lead. Well, they've never been on a lead before, and they want to bite.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
So
I'm always up for challenge, but this might be a bit dicey.
Yeah.
So I'm holding the dog here. I'm holding him up, and I'm like, I already know, because you feel them. You feel them
Yeah.
tense. You already see their what they look like, their eyes. You see their body is so tense, and they're darting, and they're side eyeing the judge.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
And then you already know. And once they do it, you're like, and you hold it away from you, and you're like, I'm like, okay, we can't ruin this dog. I'm going to give it back to the owner.
Yeah.
That's the best thing in that situation, honestly, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Hard
Handed.
to force a dog.
Yeah.
They need to be leash broke for real. When they small like that, you won't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So you do training and showing, of course, at shows. But I was looking at your website. You provide a bunch of different. You actually transport the dogs there too, correct?
Yeah.
Like if people wanted to get in contact with you about a situation like that.
Yeah, I don't transport a large amount of dogs. I transport, and I have a van, so all my dogs are with me. And I transport maybe 3 or 4 dogs max, just because I want to make sure that I'm not like yanking them out of the car, or I don't. You don't want to get frustrated as handlers when we're transporting too. I just want to make sure I enjoy the dogs. I don't want to be like stuck. Oh my God, I have to put this on my dog in.
Yeah.
No
Get in
reason.
there. Like
Zero
some
reason
people.
here.
No, I truly do enjoy the dogs that I transport. I do. Yeah.
Nice.
Poop and all.
There's a lot of that. I imagine. Do you, so considering how many dogs that you've had the opportunity to title out, have you entertained judging at all, or do you judge at all?
Well, I have been asked to judge by different registries, but I just say I'm enjoying the space I'm in. I enjoy the whole handling thing. It's just my thing, and I do love judging, and I could judge, and possibly I know I will in the future, but it's just for now.
Yeah.
For now, absolutely. Yeah, don't make a jump that isn't gonna make you happy. At this point, it's just like, no, if this is your jam, stick with it for sure.
Yeah,
You're doing
and
a good job.
when you're a judge and then you handle, it's a different. I think like some people look at you different, like.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. There's some, yeah.
There can be some negative Nancys out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I've witnessed a few of them. So it's one of those things where I can see where you're like, let's just kind of coast with what I got going on. It's a good gig. I'll worry about judging later.
Yeah. I always say when my knees go up, my back's not good. I'll start judging.
Hey, you still will have to bend down to check the dog's bite.
You're ruining my.
No, show me the teeth. I'm gonna see them from here. Show me their teeth. You do it.
You're ruining my plan.
Man.
Frenchies, all of them go up on the table. That's it.
Just on the table, and the handlers have to pick them up. No.
Thank you very much.
Oh man.
You're gonna be that judge. I'm here for it.
Oh man.
That's good. Hey, we got a question here in the comments, and then Adam, he's ready for you to actually pick up his dog tomorrow. He actually put in the comments. So hey,
Oh.
But
no.
yes, how important is temperament do you see as a breeder?
I'm sorry, what was that?
The temperament of the dog. She said, how important is temperament to you as a breeder?
very important. Very important. Yeah. Like I said, temperament is number one, and how the dog reacts to people is number one. I mean, our breed is a companion
Yeah.
breed. So that is one of the main reasons why we have this breed. So it's very, very important. I feel that there's a little bit of, there are a lot of dogs who are very anxious. If you've noticed, a lot of bloodline, or not bloodlines per se, but just a lot of dogs that are anxious, and especially after COVID, a lot of them kind of stayed home and didn't really socialize. So
Yeah.
you know, it's like an uphill battle right now trying to get these dogs socialized and out there. Unfortunately.
It can be. Timidity is a real thing.
Mhm.
And when you're at a show and someone comes up to you and asks you, like, hey, can you handle my dog for this next show? What are the questions you ask about that dog to gain the knowledge that most need to, to handle the dog at the best representation of that dog?
Mm-hmm. Well, first, even when they ask me, like inbox me, I ask them, can they walk on the leash and are they timid? Are they shy? Those are my two main questions. After that, I can kind of figure out everything else on my own. But if those two things are there, it makes it that much more harder for me to be able to take the dog and show it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That's-
Yeah. Walk on the lead and
Yeah.
timid.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get past two things, you get a dog that you can work with pretty much. So.
Yeah. And I don't put with people, it's like some of them don't know different a dog in a show ring and a dog at home. Sometimes it can be a very different thing. When you get to the show ring,
Facts.
they're like, oh,
Yep.
I am
yeah.
not going in there. Where did y'all take me to? No, it was not an agreement.
Or they're
The
trying to
answer
run
is
out of the
no.
ring.
There's a whole bunch of no happening right now.
Yeah.
It's shut off.
Loud
Ugh.
music, a lot of people, a lot of dogs.
Yep.
A lot of noise, a lot of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you, when you are conditioning your personal dogs, and even the ones that you're training as well, as far as desensitizing them, what tactics do you use?
So I walk them. So I walk them with another dog. That's one thing. I walk them with Zero, because Zero has. My husband always says that I make the dogs assholes after they leave me. I'm like, oh no, that's not good. But they do gain a lot of confidence. So
Yeah.
one is I walk them with Zero, or walk them with another dog that I have that has a lot of
Okay.
confidence. When they come into the house, I actually have a female that she is very accepting of dogs that come into the house. She makes them feel comfortable. And I notice right off the bat, because their demeanor changes once they're around her. So she is a key, very big key to what I do. That female that accepts them into the pack. And then I also have another dog that walks with them. And we go like around the block. We go around the block. We go to busy, noisy areas. First, we start walking, and then their ears are down, and then slowly you'll notice they'll start coming up,
Mhm.
Then that's when I know that they're ready to start stacking near those busy, intersections and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But first, it's just walking. We just start walking first and trying to build that confidence.
Yeah, that makes a lot. I really like that. So it's always a very, very confident dog. They're just kind of learning from the leader, like
Mhm.
follow, and
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and very structured routine.
Yeah. Okay. So once their ears start perking up, things like that. So obviously they're comfortable with that situation. You start stacking those high stress situations. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Nice.
we add a little more.
Yeah.
Get them a little more comfortable with some things. Loud noises, because Zero used to be, actually had an incident where a dog kind of attacked him at a show when he was about 9 months old. So if I didn't know what to do with him, he would probably be at
Yes.
home, scared to death of things
Of
right
anything.
now. But
Yes.
yeah, but it took me a while to get him out of it, but I was able to. He would like even his banner with his face on it. He was scared of.
Oh
He
my God.
would like start backing up and start barking at it. And I'm like, okay, no, we're not doing that today. Come here,
Yeah.
come here. So I would bring him to the thing and touch it and tap on it and just let him see that it's okay.
Yeah.
And then you see the dog kind of slowly
Yeah.
going towards
Yeah.
it, sniffing it, and then they're okay. And then they're like sniffing it and licking it and doing whatever they They're accepting of it. Yeah.
You're so bad.
Like, it's you on the damn banners,
Yeah.
boy.
Right,
Oh,
See?
shoot.
Here you
Oh,
go.
man.
Oh, hey, buddy. That thing.
That's an incredible dog
Yeah.
right there.
Mm.
But no,
That's
awesome.
zero? Is that
Yeah.
zero?
At 0.
I recognize that face anywhere. Beautiful animal.
Yes. Hey,
Him, him, so handsome.
last year alone, it was over 100 best in breed or best in, is that one year?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know how you did that.
You
Yeah.
handled for every single one of those awards?
I did. Well, I'll give a couple to Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Showed up and did some
I'll give a
stuff.
couple. No, Jim did a few awards. I think it was, I forgot what I had to do, but he brought 0 to Pensacola and I went somewhere else. I think for a client dog that I promised. So
That's
we
incredible.
we kind of split there. But yeah, for most part I did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think people that are watching, please understand the accolades that this woman's got. Like over 100 best in show and best in year. Top dog last year, grand champion 0. Incredible accolades.
Yeah.
But hey, but back to the training dog. So they get to the point where they're ready to, they're stacking, their confidence is up on stacking, walking.
Mm-hmm.
Then do you take them to a show? Do you put them in the first show? How do you introduce them to the show world?
Well, it's a feeling. So, like everything, right? If I feel that they're confident enough to be in the show ring, because another thing I do when I train with them is I actually go to confirmation class with them.
Okay.
I've seen videos of you doing that. That's actually wicked. I was just like,
Yeah.
why don't they do that where I'm at?
They might do that. So what you can do is go online, look for UKC confirmation classes in your area.
Okay, so through UKC.
UKC. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
UKC
Okay,
or
well we do have.
AKC, I think.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I was about to say we do have a kennel club, a River Region, I think, River Region Kennel Club that's down here in Alabama. So
Mm-hmm.
I might have to get with them and see what they've got
Call
going on.
and
Is that?
ask them.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. A lot of them haven't seen. It's so funny when I'm in the ring with them. They're like, "What is that? They're so stupid. There's so much muscle." You know,
Like it's a
it's
giant meatball.
hilarious.
Okay, leave me alone. Leave my meatball alone.
Like, he's so stout. It's hilarious, but they've never seen an American bully, and this is one of the ways that our breed is an ambassador too.
Yeah.
Is we bring them to those classes, and they're just mind blown. And they're like, "Oh wow, they actually move very nice." And of course, they see 0. So
Perfect.
yeah,
Ambassador.
Yes.
yeah. But I do bring them to those classes every week.
Nice.
I used to go twice a week. The gentleman that is not feeling too well, but we go once a week now, and those help tremendously.
I bet.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
especially with making you know if a dog is ready for the show ring.
Yeah.
That'd do it.
Perfect in between, but when you see it in your dog and when you're ready to take it, like confirmation training, how many times in the ring, like they go the whole presentation of the dog, like actually checking the bite, checking,
Yep.
examining the dog, seeing the gait, how they're doing with other dogs, literally seeing them in the, just not the sanction ring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's the
Exactly.
same regular.
They turn up
Yeah.
music and things like that, kind of give it the presentation of.
Well, the thing is, they don't really have music. Because UKC and AKC really don't have music when they, have their show. So, typically, they don't have shows. I guess that's something you could work on probably at home.
Yeah.
Maybe, loud music and things like that, and sounds, but they get used to being, their mouth being looked at, they're evaluated, they get used to being touched by a stranger, everything from all the way down to their tail, checking their hocks, everything. So,
Hey, Martine asked a great question. Do you stay are you the handler of the training? Do you actually go in there with them? Because they were out, stay for the whole session of the conference training. So
it's about an hour and a half to 2 hour class. Wow. So it's really, one by one. we do the same thing that we would do at a show, or repeat over and over. And then we do different patterns with them. We do triangles. It's something that we don't have in ABKC, but we do triangles, and we do go around in circles and together, and we switch the dogs around, have them sniff a different butt.
Yeah.
It's true.
Some are more interesting than others, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Different dogs lead, Yeah, but I am handling the dogs as we're doing these classes, because it's mainly for the dogs to get used to, and they do teach you a little bit about, especially if you're new, you'll learn a lot of things by watching other handlers
Yeah.
move, and how they manage the dog and how they do that. But typically, it's mainly for the dogs to get used to being in the ring.
Nice. I like that.
There was another question. When you're not doing those, how long would you say per day that you train your personal dogs?
Well, I do. When we walk around, it takes about, I say maybe 30 minutes to an hour. We're walking around outside. But as far as training, we keep it in short spurts of maybe like 5-10 minutes at a time, just so they don't get tired of it. They don't get, a lot of dogs, they get bored of it.
Yeah.
They resist.
Yeah, they start resist. They're like, fly,
Oh yeah.
Ooh, something else over here, Yeah.
Are we
keep
done?
it in shorter spurts. Yeah, but just repetition, and usually the same times during the day.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep up with any of the questions that we have in the comments, but my computer's doing. Normally, I have my computer here with my comments, otherwise. But I just have my phone today, so it's sort of like, okay, now I can't keep up with any questions. Are you guys able to keep up with any questions that they have for Hannah?
Let's see.
Not really.
Hey, I do have a question though. So when you get a dog, so if someone wants to sit there and say, "Hey, I want to champion my dog.
Mm-hmm.
My dog just turned 6 months old. I want you to campaign him. I want you to be the when you receive that dog, we're saying the same thing, kind of like with your own personal dogs, the mental side, kind of introducing them slowly and surely to things. And then, do you do your housing and training? Is it by the month, or if someone really wants to send a dog to you, how do you go about doing everything?
So typically it takes, I'd say, so the dogs start to get used to being in your house in about 3 days.
Okay.
Like they start to get a little bit more comfortable. Then within 30 days, then, you've done a lot with the dog already. So it depends. Some dogs, 2 weeks is enough, like especially if they've already had previous training. Some dogs, it's 30 days. Some dogs, it's a little bit longer. Like I said, the older the dog is, the more they're able to, kind of mellow down and focus. Yeah, unless they are already a mellow dog, they're able to receive the training that you're giving them. But yeah, it just depends on the dog.
What are the things
How?
to deny? Have you denied dogs? I'm sure traits that.
Yeah.
What? Hey, look. What if you get one like a dog that's really, really shy
Mm-hmm.
and got the potential? I mean, how long would you work with that dog? Because I have seen dogs just be shy all their life.
Yeah.
I mean, you do so much, you kind of encourage them to do stuff, but they just never get out of it. I mean, have you ever come in contact with a dog like that?
Yeah, there's dogs that are like that. It's really their personality. I mean, and they take a lot of work. And usually a lot of the shy dogs, it's something that happened. Well, not always, but majority of the time it's something that happened to them, and they can't get it out of their head, that this is not scary.
Well,
But
personally, I was speaking of myself because I have had a dog that was shy from a puppy.
oh, okay.
Never came out of it, wasn't hit. She just wasn't, she was just always shy. But, she would get used to me, but if anybody else come around, she won't.
So those
So
kinds
I
of
was just
dogs,
wondering. It was a bully.
so usually those dogs, I kind of give them to another person. Like if I was the owner, like if I was you, I'd give it to the other person, and majority of the time they come out, you know, because
Yep.
they're like, oh, it's a different place. I'm going to act a different way. So you try to find what works for that dog and kind of to bring them out of their shell. There are dogs that ultimately it's their personality and that's how they are. But there are like some like you can see that there is a change when you're around. It's you she wants to be around or he wants to
Right.
be around you. So maybe if you give it to another person, they can develop that relationship with that other person too. You know, so like I've had dogs, you know, owners like, oh, they just want me. I'm like, give them to me, you know. Let me see. Yeah,
Right.
they're like, yeah, they won't go with anybody else. Oh, give them to me. You know?
Right.
I'll fix that, you know.
Yes.
But yeah, like I said, you really have to see what works for your dog. And your dog, it might have been just if you gave it to somebody else, they might build that relationship too and trust with another person, just like they did with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great answer.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's like
Mhm.
dropping at daycare. They want to stay with you.
Yeah.
They know you.
But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's
That's their comfort.
typically you. You need to cut your apron strings, mister. You gotta let them explore the world a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, but hey, what I'm saying though, if the dog to you, you sit there and say, hey, you know, what are characteristics that you're like, I, I can't train this dog. Like, there's just too many things that I can't. What are things that are deniable?
Well, there are some dogs that they're just, how do I put it? So one is they're very aggressive.
Okay.
They're very, they don't trust anything around them. It would be very hard for me to be able to put them in a situation where it just makes it worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are dogs that they need, you know, they're like people. Some of them need medication. Some of them need to be medicated, but we need to know why,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So once we figure that out, then we can move forward. But there are some things that are very organic that we as handlers can't really do anything about because that's them, that's in them. That's really a psychological issue with the dog. You know, they're just good. Like there's some dogs I've seen, they're docile. Like they'll just sit there and they'll look at you, and all of a sudden they'll just bite. You know, it's just a bite.
Yes.
And I'm like, is it a neuro thing? You know, you don't know.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's very
What?
strange.
They're
Yes.
just all of a sudden just bite. I'm like, what's wrong with you? And nothing's going on. There's no reason for them to be biting. They just bite. You know? Yeah.
That is wild. Hey, so if someone is watching, I'm sure there is hope there is getting the dogs and that's thinking about what would you give them, you know, a takeaway from tonight to start, how to start,
You're breaking
you know,
up
going.
a
Yeah,
little.
you got that Walmart Wi-Fi?
Yeah. What advice would you give someone that's watching it showing?
That wants to get into the show ring.
Yeah, what advice you got?
Yeah. So if you want to get into the show ring, I do encourage those people who are sitting here thinking that they can't do it, you can. And those people who are thinking that they have anxiety and things like that, once you get in there, yeah. So keep practicing. The more you practice,
Definitely.
because we all start somewhere, right? I mean, we all make mistakes. We all start somewhere. You know, nobody's gonna point you out and laugh at you. You know, it's okay. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Like anything else, like riding a bike. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. The more confidence you have in yourself. Just know that when you get into the ring, you've put in the work for yourself and be okay with the result. That is the very beginning of how you should go into handling. And it should always be about the dogs. It's not about you, you know. A lot of handlers, they're very like, look at me, you know, but you know, it's really, if you make the dog shine, if you
Stop it.
if you make the dog shine, you shine as well. And always make it about the dogs. Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Just always have that. Keep practicing so you have that confidence to start.
Yeah.
And watch the people who are handling. Watch how they move. Watch their hand placement. Watch how they're reacting to the dog, and kind of try to simulate that in how you're learning. You're gonna make mistakes. It's normal, but you'll get through it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think that's the best advice I can get.
Come on, Amanda. I want to see you in the ring.
Oh God. Well, are you going to be in
Columbus?
Columbus? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, then you'll see it
There we
firsthand.
go.
Let's say I don't
Do
know.
you enjoy
I don't.
it?
I do. It's I honestly think it's almost like not an addiction per se, but like no matter how stressful it is trying to prepare, must get all this stuff in the car packed, make sure you have this, that, and that, the not sleeping really well the night before, making sure he's groomed and trimmed and everything, the night before. And just like literally, in spite of all of that stress though, it's like, I feel like once I'm there, like I'm very, very, very excited about it. I'm trying to get Adonis excited. He's that dog that's sort of like, meh. My big guy's just like, he's like, I guess this is what we're doing now. Like, Mommy brought me here. This is weird. It's loud and what's that? But for the most part, it's just like, yeah, I have to kind of like get him in the right mindset. But once he's in the ring, like
There you go.
he's pretty good about it. He's got a beautiful gait and everything. I always worry about me. I'm the one that's messing. He's on autopilot today. He's on autopilot. This one's got the problems.
Yeah, take a deep breath and just go at it.
Oh yeah. We're still a work in progress, but we are working on it. So we never give up. But yes, I do enjoy it for sure.
Perfect.
Yeah,
That's all you can ask of yourself is just to have fun.
Absolutely. Are we ever going to get you in the ring, Bruce?
What was that?
Are we ever going to get you in the ring? I mean, again.
I don't know. I might. I don't have time. I'm telling you, I don't have time. You got to be totally 100% committed to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I know I can't give all I can't be dedicated to that 100%. I can't.
Yeah.
Well, someday we might be.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I look forward
We're trying. We got him to a show recently. We took him to Candy DeMaio show. We got him to a show. So
how'd you like it?
It was okay. I mean,
Good.
it brings back memories, but I mean, just like I say, dogs change so much now from a while back,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
but it's fun. I love to go to a show,
Good.
but it just takes too much time. Too much time.
I know.
It does.
And a lot of traveling, and it kind of gets expensive.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I know about that.
Especially with
Hey, but if I can get invited to the Philippines or something like that with everything paid, I might go.
Yeah.
Book my flight. We going. I'm gonna try some Filipino food firsthand. Like,
oh man, I'm gonna give you some Filipino food this weekend, ma'am.
Don't tempt me with a good time, okay?
Because I know in Columbus there's a restaurant right outside the venue.
You're kidding, for real?
Oh yeah, we find all the Filipino.
Well, I'm thinking then that's gonna have to happen.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna happen.
Yeah, well, I'll have Mary with me this time.
Oh, nice.
Mary's great.
Nice.
So she's actually coming to the show with me and everything. So she'll be there for pictures and she'll be getting ringside shots and whatnot. So it'd be awesome. I think I don't know if she eats Filipino food. Maybe she hasn't.
Hey,
maybe she will.
Maybe she'll try it.
It could be an eye-opening experience for everybody.
Yeah. I'll start you off with the popular stuff.
Oh, good. Good. Nothing that has its head still attached to its body.
Heads, no testicles, no heads, nothing like that.
They're like, don't you want these fish heads or this whole duck? They're like, what am I going to do with this whole duck? It's looking at me. It looks like this thing had a name. Look at it.
I heard it quack. I heard it quack.
Yeah.
No,
Actually, like that.
Oh man. There you go.
stuff. Hey, the venue in Columbus, Georgia. If people haven't been to that, go there. That's incredible. That's
So
Oh,
beautiful.
one of my favorite right
mhm.
there.
What date is it? What's the date?
This
This upcoming Saturday, the 26th.
20,
Yes, 26.
26th.
20,
Mm-hmm.
26?
This Saturday. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh no, I
26th.
no, I can't
Saturday.
go.
Now,
It's
I
a
it's a
can't.
gorgeous
Monday show, so
venue.
yeah.
I can't.
Oh,
I
so
can't
pretty.
make it.
And this show was very well marketed.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Very well marketed by
always
Daryl
put
Oh,
together
yeah.
and
very, very good show.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. They are doing it, I can't remember if it was a 2-day show last year. This year, it is just the 26th.
Yeah.
Yes, just one day.
Just the Saturday.
Yeah, it was a lot. I know. Yeah, it was a lot for them to do a 2-day show this year, so they just did it one, but which works out good for me too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, usually when they have a secondary show on the Sunday after, it's like I very rarely am able to make it because at that point, you know, you're already show hungover from Saturday. And anybody who thinks that show hungover is not a thing, it's a thing. It's a whole thing.
Oh, we really
Like, don't make
get
any
our
plans, right? You just ruin.
really have to get our butt going on Sunday.
Like every once in a while, I want to see the faces of the people that have to be there again on Sunday, just so I can be like, are you as miserable as you
Yeah.
look? Like,
We are.
oh yeah.
Half of us are limping, the other half of us are dehydrated. Yeah.
The entry level
I've seen,
on Saturday morning and Sunday morning, it's completely different. The outfits, the trying to
Yeah.
rush on Sundays, everything. So yes.
yeah, all the pictures that I see from like Saturday versus Sunday, the attire is entirely different. Everyone's a little bit more casual because
Yeah, everybody's wearing
at
Crocs and shorts and
yeah, they hit screw it. They just hit screw it at that point.
you're like, just give us our points.
Yeah.
We're gonna
I
leave
gave you
now.
my Saturday best, my Sunday best. This is it.
Yeah.
That is good stuff. That is complete truth right there that we just shared.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
This Saturday, who are you bringing? Have open availability for people, you know, if they want you to show or anything like that this upcoming weekend?
What were you saying?
This
For
weekend at the Columbus show, who are you bringing? Do you have any open availability to show with if people are interested?
well, I have a very special girl that's coming out to the Grand Champion class. So.
Nice. Nice. I look
And then
forward.
I do have, yeah, she's my pretty little girl. Not mine, but somebody else's.
Hey, you must didn't hear. Hey, look, but you must didn't hear what Caleb said. Are you gonna be open
Oh, am
to
I
show
going to be
Are you
somebody?
gonna be,
open?
yeah, are you going to be available to people who are wanting to employ you?
I thought you were asking who am I bringing out. But
Oh, we
yeah,
did.
um,
We did.
oh,
Well, we have that too.
yeah. I'm open. I am closed for champion and grand champion as well. Both champion classes, male and female, and then grand, of course. But I do have some classes available open.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice. Anything in particular?
I think I have some standard and pocket, 1 to 2 pocket mail. So I have that one, or 1 to 2. Yeah, 1 to 2 pocket mail.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
So that one just open.
for
'cause
clarification,
my
to
little
split
guy.
the champion into male or female, what are the qualifications?
There has to be at least 5 that's registered and paid to be in the show ring. So what we've noticed is if there is 5 dogs that are registered and already paid for to show, even if like the second and third show or the third or fourth show, sometimes 2 of them leave or 1 of them leaves.
Yeah.
As long as they're registered and paid to show, then we can go ahead and show in a separate class.
So there's 5 each gender, correct?
5 of each gender, yeah.
Okay.
At least.
Okay.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Learn something every
Right
day.
now, it's so amazing because right now the female champion classes, they're pretty big.
Yeah.
It was not like that a couple years ago. Yeah.
Nice. I like the trend. That's a good one.
I love it. People are really coming out with their females. And you can see these beautiful, females that are grand champions because our breed needs that. They need to see good quality
Yes.
females.
I agree. I
They
like
need
to see it.
I like it.
And I've seen a lot of people posting that the last days. Look to see what the champion class is going to be. If it's going to be a split class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be split. I think there'll be enough. I think there's already more than 5 for females and males.
Nice. That's good stuff.
So
I like to see that.
Great sign.
I love it. I love seeing it.
So,
Yes. Is it-
do you follow a lot of XL breeders?
I a few.
You. We usually ask our guests if they have a top 3 or a top 5 favorite XLs of all time.
Oh, well, I'm kind of biased because I did have one XL that I really, really loved.
Go for it.
But his name is Champ Enzo. He's from Texas. I
Nice.
don't know if you've ever seen him or heard of him, but they really did stop showing him after champion class. And he's one that I just happened to be at a show, and we had he was scared at first, and he just after the first show, he just automatically trusted me.
Yeah.
At first he was darting and but after the first time we showed, he just automatic, and then after that he just couldn't get enough of me. He was just loving me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That bond was
you. Yeah, and I never took him home or anything. It's just there's some dogs that really just take to you, So.
Yeah.
But I've seen Natalia's dogs. I've seen Legend. Not a lot of XLs, but I have. Or Christine Feldman. I actually handle her XLs too. So, yeah.
I love her program up there.
Yeah, they have very pretty heads. Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Do you guys, anybody in the comments have any other questions? I know we're kind of running into 9 o'clock, so I didn't know if anybody had any last questions for Hannah before we release her.
I haven't seen any of the questions. Mine are not coming out for some reason.
Yeah, mine either. I can't see them either.
Oh, it's on you, Taylor.
Yeah. I can see him. Hey, someone said what restaurant that you were talking about. What is the Filipino restaurant right outside?
Restaurant. Hold on. Let me find out. You guys talk while I look.
Yes, absolutely. But no,
You'll need to know.
yes, I love
It's the need to know basis. When it comes to food, I don't know. You guys know I'm a foodie.
I'm not going because I don't want to hear that duck quack.
But no, I want to know because lumpia is one of my. We lived up in Washington. We had a lot of Filipino that lived right around us, and I fell in love with some lumpia. Chicken adobo. Love it.
Yes. See, you know.
Yes, I love it.
That's that good soul food right there.
Oh yeah. I'll be interested to have it. Add it to my repertoire.
I think it's Filberto.
Filberto?
Something like that.
Nice.
But yeah, they have lumpia, so I'll get you some.
Yes, that's some good stuff right
there.
Lumpia?
Not a duck. Yeah. It. Don't worry, it's not a duck egg.
Okay. Hey, look. You know what? I was gonna bring that up. But I didn't want to. Hey, I can't. I don't think I could do that, man. I don't think I could do that.
I actually made Paulina eat sort of something like that. It's a quail egg, but it's like a more mature quail egg. She was like, put the sauce on and she ate it. It's like, it's not bad. I'm like, oh, good for you. I'll never eat that.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a more mature.
What's it?
That could have been a texture thing for me. I'm a little sensitive. It's going to be a no for me, dog. I can't do it.
Man.
Hey, Bruce,
we won't do that to you. We won't do that to you, though.
It's like an egg roll with mostly meat. Very, very seasoned, very, very, very good taste.
Yeah, that's the Shanghai rolls.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, the Shanghai
I might could deal with something like that, man, but
just leave the duck on the side, please.
Hey, look, I eat a duck, but I don't want the whole duck. I like a piece of duck. I don't want the whole duck. I like duck.
This is literally an egg with a mature duck, and it has beak and it has feathers, and it's an egg, and they boil it or whatever they do with it. I don't know.
Half cook it,
but
right?
they cook it. Yeah, they cook it, and it literally is like there's feathers and a beak and feet.
I don't want none of that.
Web.
I know. It's not gonna happen.
I don't want none of that.
Can't do it.
You check that box and just move
Man,
along.
look. Look, that thing still having testers in it, man.
Yeah, they do.
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, there's the there's the juice
Well,
in
the
it
rest
and
down.
everything.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
I'm just gonna
I
go
don't
drink
want
my
that.
oat milk over here.
Hey, look, what about is it what is it? Chocolate covered ants?
Oh, we don't do
You
that.
don't do that?
That's not us. That's China, man. I don't
Oh, that's
know.
China. Oh,
We're a whole different Asian country.
oh man.
I know, but I know
That's
like
it,
Dave
Bruce. You're
guys.
flying.
Yeah, Viviana guys, Dave. I think they all ate scorpion at one point. I don't know.
Oh
No, no, thank you.
man.
Mm-mm.
Yes. But hey, this hopefully we can make it. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you for taking the time, the knowledge. I think it's scheduled. Like I said, if y'all haven't seen her webpage, go check it out. Her Facebook, go check it out. Emulate that because it's incredible. Your webpage is one of the most well put together. Very detailed. There's not a word
Oh,
out
thank
that's
you.
rude.
Yeah.
Contact
Very, very
information all
well
on
done.
there. Yes, very, very well done.
I'm
And if
pretty
you've seen her with,
proud of it. I'm not a graphic designer.
but no, thank you again for taking the time. I really do appreciate it. Hope a lot of people took something from tonight, which I think they did. I personally did. So thank you again, seriously.
I enjoyed myself
Yeah,
also.
I think this is one of my most favorite interviews I've done. So thank you guys. It was amazing.
Oh,
You guys are all amazing.
yeah. Well, trust me, the pleasure's with us for sure. I definitely am honored that you took time to talk to us. Especially, I know that you're like stupid busy all the time. So.
Yeah, a little bit.
If I don't know what time I'm planning on being at Columbus, but definitely look forward to seeing you there, and we'll catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you going? Are you going? No,
I'm not.
no,
Nah,
Caleb,
I can't
no.
come.
So we were not going to go because my daughter was going to be her first cheerleading. It was her jamboree, but we got word today that it might be rescheduling the jamboree, so it is a possible. So
Nice.
if we can make it, we're going to be there.
Awesome.
Absolutely. It's a closer show to us.
Okay. Well,
Very
I'll look forward to seeing all you and hopefully you and Amanda and Bruce. I'll see you on the flip side.
We're still trying. We'll get them there.
On
We'll
the
get
next
them there.
one,
Forget
whichever
this
one
face.
it is.
Yeah, you catch me at one.
I won't. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you.
Hey, thank
All
you
right,
for
Thank
y'all.
guys.
Tonight. Thank you for everyone viewing.
Absolutely.
All right,
Thanks,
guys.
guys, again. Bye, Hannah. Thank
All
Have a
you.
right.
good evening.
You as
See you later.
well.
All right.
Bye. Bye.